Hey everybody, it's Mama Kay coming back at you after about 2 weeks since our last one of these, and here is my next episode of Who in the Band World Are These People? So I thought this week about who in the world could I ask to do this, who would be brave enough for me to ask them whatever question I wanted without them knowing, and these were the three that I came up with this week. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce to you Tricia Howe, Janet Yochim, and Chloe Plamondon. They are three of the epic band directors here. Sorry, two of the epic band directors here. Trish, I just loop you in there. And one industry goddess that has been a huge part of my life for about 2 decades now. So here we go. Question number one. Please name for me your favorite non-music teacher that you have had.
Mr. Magnifico.
Who is that, Chloe?
When I was in high school, I was part of a program called the Career Internship Program. And it was great. It was at River East. It was like really about learning career skills and develop like entrepreneurship type skills. And when I was in high school, we also were finished school at the end of December. So that was a real perk for me when I was in grade 12. But yeah, he was just wicked, and I keep in touch with him, and I've spoken to his like career internship program kids since, and yeah, it's cool.
Very cool. How about you, Janet?
Oh, wow. Let me think now. That would have to be Mr. Yarway, my high school math teacher, and I was horrible at math. Like horrible, like I barely passed math. But he was a person who taught me to persevere through things. He made me come in to class when I had a prep just so I could learn how to do things properly. And he really pushed me to be better than I thought I was. And so he really sticks in my mind all the time.
Do you find that he influenced how you teach now?
No, because some of his methods of teaching weren't quite what I would do. I don't know how to say that tactfully, but no, he wasn't, but he somehow made it through and was able to teach me certain things that I think were really important.
That's wonderful that he took that time.
Yes.
All right, Trish, what you got?
It's a hard one. I have like six favorite teachers. I was not the easiest of students to teach. The board smart child is never a fun student to have.
You're not
The
headstrong at
teachers,
all. No.
no, and it's not like this is new for me either. This happened when I was a very young human, and of course, because my mom was a teacher, I hung out with lots of teachers even when I wasn't in their class. So it's really hard to pick a one. But if I had to like complete blanket pick one, it would probably be my grade 10, grade 12, and AP English teacher, Jim Pahura, who since moved into admin, and I think he's retired now, but he was an admin at my old high school after that. But the thing that I most adored about Mr. Pahura's class was that you could think if you were writing an essay on a book or a play or whatever, um, you could think whatever you like as long as you could back it up with three pieces of proof.
I can see that totally jiving with you.
So appealed to me. I also loved my AP Chem teacher because he was awesome and had this super dry sense of humor and was giving us a lecture about how we'd been burning ourselves and we had to bring in all this Bactine, and he lit his sleeve on fire at the same time, and he was totally a me. Like, I had some really great teachers. I was very fortunate.
Very cool. All right, Trish, I'm going to start with you on this one. What
Okay.
was the first non-music job you ever had?
I was, in point of fact, a waitress in a truck stop slash attendant at a 24-hour truck stop gas station.
How old were you?
14.
Would you like to go into a little more detail, or should we leave it at that?
What do you want to know? It was,
Remember PG show?
yeah, no, it's all good. Yeah, no, they were hiring. I was looking for my first job because I was driving my mother insane. And they were hiring, so I went and applied. And it's if you're ever driving between Winnipeg and Brandon, you know the shell on the highway where they close the highway when there's a storm? That was my first job.
That is so cool. Janet, how
Right.
about you?
Wow, my first job. Well, we lived on a farm, and so I didn't get to have a job until like I went to university even. But I worked at Woolco in Brandon when I was going through university, and I worked at customer service in Wolco.
Isn't that quite the job? I worked customer service at Kmart.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
guys got
So
about people very
it
early,
was
didn't you?
basically it was basically the complaints department, wasn't it, Janet?
It absolutely was, and it was great. I enjoyed my time there, and I had that all through university, which was great. And then I got on full time during the summers when I wasn't working or wasn't at school, so it was good.
Fantastic. Chloe, how about you?
I worked briefly at a dollar store when I was young, I think 14. Got fired because I didn't do the cash properly or something, and the lady, I don't think she really liked me, and anyway, I got fired from that. That was pretty traumatic. And then I worked at Wendy's. Yeah, I loved working at Wendy's. I worked there for years, and then once when I was 15 years old, I went on a trip to Ottawa called Encounters with Canada. It was this great program. I was there anyway, so they let the kids loose one afternoon, and I got my belly button pierced. Yeah, tried to hide it for a little while. My mom found the cleaning solution, like, great for piercing. So dumb. But anyways, so I was grounded. I got grounded for piercing my belly button on this school trip. And then, except I was told that the only reason I was allowed to leave the house that entire summer was to go to work. So I got another job, and I worked at Wendy's all day and McDonald's all night. It was great.
Holy crow. That's intense.
Awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
So Janet, this one is for you first. Okay, now this is very telling, and Chris is going to be watching this interview simply for this question.
Oh, no.
What, in your opinion, is the best greasy spoon / drive-in / diner in Manitoba?
Oh, what is that greasy? Oh, now I gotta really think.
He's going to hold you to it, you know.
Gee, you know what? I can't think of any.
Do you have one that is local that you really like? Give a shout out to one from Verdun.
We do our own local. We have Ice Cream Island here, of course. That's awesome, and it has your ice cream, and then it's got your deep fried mushrooms, which are unbelievable, and your deep fried pickles, which are my favorite, right? And then they have an ice cream burger an Ice Cream Island burger that you can't eat it and the fries and anything else. Like, it's that big. It's quite amazing.
That sounds like a challenge.
But we only have that over the summer, right? So that's why it was hard to think of something right away, because it's only open for those months during the summer.
Well, that could be a road trip thing for this coming summer.
And Ice Cream Island also gave us all of the buckets from their ice cream to use for our bucket drumming.
Excellent. Extra props to them for that.
There you go.
Chloe, how about you? Best greasy spoon?
I think maybe it's like pretty mediocre food, but I have memories anyways of growing up at Lanky's at Grand Beach. So, I mean, we make it there every year for some deep fried mushrooms and ice cream and stuff. So maybe I'll give them a little props.
Excellent. Trish, now you gotta think about Manitoba here.
Okay, first I've got to think about Manitoba. Then I've got to think about like the timeline and all of the places in Manitoba that I've actually been, which is most of them. So it's a tough one. I really miss J&H. That was one of our favorite go-tos on Portage Avenue in St. James. That was one of my favorite places. But I also, when we go back, we still also go to Half Moon. So that's sort of yeah. But yeah, there are some really neat places kind of everywhere. So that's my non-answer answer to that.
Because Fat Boys burnt down on Henderson, Chloe, I don't know if you ever remember that, maybe because I'm a lot older than you. There was a really great greasy spoon on Henderson called Fat Boys. But our latest favorite is a place called Super Boys on Main Street. Really fantastic. So, okay.
What's the chicken finger place, Joe? Mitzi's.
Mitzi's, that's also great. Yeah, that's like downtown.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is super interesting, at least for me, because I'm curious as to what you will each say. Now, I think, Chloe, Here we go. What do you think people remember most about meeting you for the first time?
Oh, that's a hard question.
Is
I
that
don't
your
know.
thing, Joanne?
That's exactly my mwahaha.
We should make Joanne answer that first.
For me,
Answer that about each other. Someone else tell me what you remember about meeting me, and I'll tell you what I remember about meeting you.
so Chloe, you're in the hot seat. What is your answer?
I don't know. Truly, I don't know. Say it one more time. Say the question.
Okay. What do you think people remember most about meeting you for the first time? This is not people who know you well. This is when, say, you and I were to meet for the first time, our first interaction. What would I come away with? What would I think? This is Chloe.
I don't know.
Okay,
I guess it would depend like on the context. It would depend on my mood of the day. It would depend why. Yeah, like so many questions. I don't know. I think
I can come back to you if you want to think on it a little bit more.
Well, I think if you were to like, what do I hope people would think of me?
Sure, go with that.
Would be different, I guess. I would hope that people would think that I'm kind and that I am easy to talk to and not non-judgmental, and maybe someone that they wouldn't mind getting to know more. But I don't know. Yeah, good question.
You know what? I would say that those would be pretty bang on,
Wow.
at least from my experience with you.
That's nice.
Trish.
I'm gonna go with that I and again, much like Chloe, it's kind of like I hope. I hope that what people take from me is that my door is always open, that I laugh like a loon, and I have gigantic hair.
Ah.
Nice.
And
That's
fabulous
in a
shoes.
nutshell.
And fabulous shoes.
And fabulous shoes.
Janet, how about you?
So I hope people think that I'm genuine. I hope people think that I'm easy to talk to. And I hope that they feel comfortable being around me and want to share things with me.
Wonderful. I love that, right? We always hope that people get this from us. And I believe all three of you really are very, I can see that in every single one of you is wonderful. All right, here we go. And I'm so excited. And I think, Janet, because I think I know you the least out of the three of you, I'm going to ask you this first because, again, I'm going to learn so many things about your soul with this question. So here we go. For the first time ever, all 2021 Grammy nominees for Best Rock Performance are female. If you, Janet, could be any female rock star, who would you be?
Oh, you so picked the wrong person to ask this. I listen to so much music and I don't know.
And it could be from any era, but think rock goddess. Who would you be, Janet Yochim?
I would be Heart.
You'd be the lead singer, or would you be lead guitarist?
I'd be the lead singer.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay, and I'm going to go to Chloe next.
I'm like Googling female rock.
Oh, not fair. I couldn't Google Chloe. Come on.
But if you know me, you know I'm like so like not into it, but I like just don't know any, like nothing sticks in my brain, and I don't like in terms of like pop culture and stuff, and I don't know. That's who would I be is the question.
If you could be any female rock star, and you know what, I'm going to open this up, or pop star, if you are also more into the pop, but leaning towards the rock.
I don't know. Okay, so I googled a list, and I know that Joni Mitchell came up. I don't know if I'd consider her maybe a female rock star at all, but a female star anyway, maybe more of a folk singer. But I love that she's just so unapologetically herself and kind of takes whatever angle to her music that she feels like doing without paying attention to what the world thinks of her.
Very rock and roll, Chloe. That's a very rock and roll attitude. I think that's very, I think you are valid with your choice.
So I'll pick Joni Mitchell, or I would pick Taylor Swift. And Taylor Swift is like, that has the same like kind of persona to her, I find. And I think she's very cool. So
excellent. All right, darling.
You know what? I really wanted to say Nancy Wilson, but Joanne.
That's who I went to too, and now I can't say it either.
But you know what? I'm never gonna have her pipes. But honestly, I think probably I'm somewhere really, really between Pink and Sheila E.
Sheila E, like drum goddess.
Killin' chick drummer. Yep. Played with Prince. Played with everybody. Nailed everything. Kicked indoors. I want to be her.
Very, very nice. Well, Janet, so like I was gonna say one of the Wilson sisters, I gotta say, but if I had to choose another, I think it might have to be Pat Benatar.
Mm-hmm.
Like
the other one I was thinking for me, after we got through everybody, of course, you think of these things afterwards. Jan Arden.
Oh, yeah. Incredible. Incredible. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, these are very, very strong women and Canadian women, right? You said Joni Mitchell and Jan Arden, incredible. And I believe even in the 70s, Heart was trying to come to Canada. So we can pretend, right? To try and avoid the draft or something like that. So anyways, this was so enlightening. I feel so much closer to all three of you. Thank you for letting me put you on the spot like that. I think sometimes we have the best conversations when they are unscripted and it's a little bit of improv. So I love all three of you. Thank you so much for your time tonight. And I hope we bring a little sunshine to everybody's night that gets to watch this. Have a great night, you guys.
Kind of awesome.
Bye.